In section 40 of Counsels and Maxims, Schopenhauer gives us his advice about whether or not we should praise ourselves in the company of others. Here's what he writes. Even when you are fully justified in praising yourself, you should never be seduced into doing so. For vanity is so very common, and merit so very uncommon, that even if a man appears to be praising himself, though very indirectly, people will be ready to lay 100 to 1 that he is talking out of pure vanity, and that he has not sense enough to see what a fool he is making of himself. Still, for all that, there may be some truth in Bacon's remark that, as in the case of calumny, if you throw enough dirt, some of it will stick, so it is also in regard to self-praise, with the conclusion that self-praise in small doses is to be recommended. So that's the end of section 40, and Schopenhauer's advice about self-praise seems to be, one, don't do it, not because you don't deserve it or can't pull it off, but because even your deserved praise of yourself, pointing out your own virtues accurately, will be swallowed up in the great sea of vanity and falsehood that is the social world. So people will simply mistake you for a fool who doesn't realize how much of a fool he's obviously making of himself. Your quality will not be recognized even when you point it out, perhaps especially because you point it out. So it's as likely to damage your prospects and standing as it is to improve it. And then there's this curious citation of a proverb of Francis Bacon. Just as in the case of throwing mud, of calumny and insult, if you throw enough dirt at somebody, most of it will be discarded as meritless, but some people will believe some of it. We see this, of course, every election season in our time. But maybe it's also the same way, Schopenhauer and Bacon suggest, with regard to self-praise. If you say enough good things about yourself, even if the general lot of people disregard 80% of it, they're going to believe 20% of it, and that's to your benefit. I don't quite myself understand Schopenhauer's conclusion that self-praise in small doses is to be recommended, because the logic of Bacon's statement seems to be that it's only the very large doses of self-praise that will actually have the desired effect of people believing some of what you say. Perhaps there's something lost in the translation or my understanding either of Schopenhauer or Bacon and the points that they're making. But Schopenhauer does seem to give an answer that consists of mostly not, perhaps a little bit occasionally, in regard to self-praise. So that's section 40 of Counsels and Maxims. Section 41 is Schopenhauer's advice on how to deal with liars, how to react to people who you think are trying to conceal something from you or push a falsehood on you. We'll take a look at that in the next video. Thanks for watching today. Goodbye.